Hello everybody. So in the last classes we have started discussing the topic capacitors. So right in the last class we have discussed all varieties of capacitors, and also we have discussed the applications of fixed and variable capacitors. Now in today's class we'll try to discuss the points regarding the capacitor connections. That is, we'll try to know how the capacitance varies when two or more capacitors are connected in series as well as parallel. Okay, so the learning objectives for today's video is capacitors in series and capacitors in parallel. Let's first discuss the points regarding capacitors in series. So as we all know, series connection is nothing but a connection in which one end of the terminal is connected to the starting point of the one end of one component is connected to the starting terminal of the next component, and the end terminal of the second component is connected to the starting terminal of the third component. This chain type connection we call it as series connection. Okay, for any kind of component, a series connection is the same, like one end is connected to the other end. That is called as series connection. So in for capacitors also it's the same. Okay, so capacitors are connected together in series when they are daisy chain together in a single line. So as you can see on the screen, I have taken a series capacitor circuit in which I have connected three capacitors C1, C2, C3 in series fashion between the terminals A and B. So you can observe the one end of the capacitor C1 is connected to the starting terminal of capacitor C2, and the end terminal of capacitor C2 is connected to the starting terminal of C3. So this connection we call it as series connection. So here series connection, in series connection we can connect n number of components in the same fashion, right? So here I have taken three capacitors. All the three capacitors may have same value or may have different values. So as an example, I have taken the three capacitors with values 0.1 microfarads, 0.2 micro and 0.3 microfarads I have taken. So for series connected capacitors, the charging current and voltage that is developed across the capacitors should be known in order to derive an expression for the total capacitance or the equivalent capacitance. Okay, so here we can see that there is only one path for the flow of current. Okay, so there is only one line or one connecting wire between all these capacitors. So for a series connected capacitor, the charging current, that is we call it as IC, flowing through the capacitor is same as for all the capacitors, as it is the only path to flow. So as there are no other paths for the flow of current, there is only one path, so we can say that the charging current that is in the capacitors will be through only one path. So now then the capacitors in series all will have the same current through them. It is obvious that when the current flowing through all the capacitors is same, as there is only one path, it is obvious that the current is same in all the three capacitors. So what we can write is that the total capacitance IT can be written as the current that is flowing in I1, C1, current flowing in C2 and current flowing in C3. So the total capacitance IT is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Sorry, is the same. So I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3. So all the capacitor currents are same when the capacitors are connected in series. Therefore, for each capacitor will store the same amount of electrical charge. Okay, so as the current is same, the amount of charge that is being stored in each of the capacitor is same. So the Q on its plates is same regardless of its capacitance. This is because the charge stored by a plate of any one capacitor must have come from the plate of its adjacent capacitor, right? So therefore the capacitors connected together in series must have the same charge. So here 2 points are very clear. That is, first one is current is same. As the current is same, the charge is also same. Then what we can write? We can write it as QT. The total charge in this series circuit is Q1, that is charge in capacitor 1, Q2, that is charge in capacitor 2, Q3, charge in capacitor 3. So all will be the same. Okay, so here when we observe this circuit with three capacitors C1, C2 and C3, all are connected together in a series branch across a supply voltage between the points A and B. Here the supply voltage that is applied between VAB is equal to 12 volts. So in the series connected circuit, the total or equivalent circuit can be calculated by using this voltage, the total voltage. Now we will discuss how to calculate the total capacitance in a series connected capacitors. So in the series circuit, the right hand plate of the capacitor C1 is connected to the left hand plate of the capacitor, second capacitor. C2, whose right hand plate is connected to the left hand plate of the third capacitor C3. Then this series connection means that in a DC connected circuit, a capacitor C2 is effectively isolated from the circuit. The result of this is that the effective plate area has decreased to the smallest individual capacitance connected in the series chain. Therefore, the voltage drop across each capacitor will be different depending on the value of the individual capacitance. Okay, till now what we got to know is that current flowing is same in all the capacitors, charge developed is same in all the capacitors, but the voltage that is developed or the voltage drop developed across each capacitor is different. Okay, so when we apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to the circuit, what we can write is that the sum of incoming voltages is equal to outgoing voltage. That is what KVL explains us, right? So incoming voltage is here VAB. So VAB will be equal to sum of all these voltages. So what we can write is, according to KVL, VAB is equal to VC1 plus VC2 plus VC3, right? So I will show you here. So is equal to, what we can write is 12 volts, and we also know that the voltage across the capacitor C1 is written as, we already got to know an expression between voltage, charge and capacitance, right? So voltage will be equal to charge by capacitance, right? So in the previous videos we have discussed this point. So the voltage across VC1 can be written as VC1 is equal to QT by C1. VC2 is equal to QT, total charge, divided by the capacitance value of the second capacitor. VC3 is equal to total charge divided by capacitance of the third capacitor. Okay, we know that Q is equal to C into V, and by arranging according to V, we can write it as V is equal to Q by C. So what we can do now is, as we got to know the values of Vc1, Vc2, Vc3 as Qt by C1, Qt by C2, Qt by C3, substitute these terms here in this expression. Then this expression will become VAB is equal to, you can see here, this expression, the first expression can be rewritten as Qt by Ct is equal to Qt by C1 plus Qt by C2 plus Qt by C3. Okay, is it clear? In this expression, according to KVL, we have written this expression for the particular circuit what we have drawn. So in this expression, I have substituted the value of Vc1, Vc2 and Vc3. So when we observe these, in all these Q2 is common, right? So what we can do is that dividing each term by Q will gives us a value 1 by Ct is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 up to so on. N number of capacitors can be connected. So n number of additions can be done over here. Okay, when adding capacitors in series, the reciprocal 1 by C of the individual capacitors are all together added instead of capacitors themselves. So then the total value of the capacitors in series equals to the reciprocal of the sum of the individual capacitances. Okay, so this is the expression, final expression for capacitors when connected in series. That is, when capacitors are connected in series, the total capacitance or the equivalent capacitance will be equal to the reciprocal of the sum of the reciprocal of the all the individual capacitances. Okay, so here I have given you another expression when only two capacitors are connected, like not more than two. This expression we can use when only two capacitors are connected in series. The total capacitance expression can be simply remembered like this, like Ct is equal to C1 into C2 divided by C1 plus C2. This is just simple LCM expression, right? So C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 is a total expression when only two capacitors are connected. Okay, so this is how we calculate the value of total or equivalent capacitance of series connected capacitors, right? So from this expression we can understand that when the capacitors are connected in series, the total capacitance will be less than the individual capacitance. So if you want to decrease the capacitance of a circuit, you can connect the capacitances in series. So this is very much contrast to resistors. For resistors, when we want to increase the resistance value, we'll add the resistors in series, right? So for capacitors, when we want to decrease the capacitance, we'll connect the capacitors in series. So this is what you have to remember. Right, so this is all this is how we calculate the value of capacitance when capacitance are connected in series. So to understand it better, we'll try to solve an example. Right, just now I have told you that when capacitors are connected in series, its total or equivalent capacitance will decrease. So in order to prove that, we'll just calculate the value of this particular circuit. So for the total equivalent, we can calculate the equivalent capacitance of this capacitance by the formula just now what we have derived, right? So here the capacitor values are C1 is 0.1 microfarads, C2 is 0.2 microfarads, C3 is 0.3 microfarads. So the expression for the total capacitance in series connection is this one, right? 1 by Ct is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. So substitute the values of C1, C2, C3 in this expression. Now let's see what will happen. So 1 by Ct is equal to 1 by 0.1 microfarads plus 1 by 0.2 microfarads plus 1 by 0.3 microfarads. When we solve this, we'll get an expression 1 by 18.33 into 10 power minus 6. So if we further simplify this, we can write the total capacitance Ct is equal to 0.055 microfarads or 55 nanofarads. Nano means 10 power minus 9, which is smaller than that of microfarads. Okay, so when you observe the individual capacitances, C1 here it is 0.1 microfarads, whereas C2 0.2 microfarads, C3 is 0.3 microfarads. But when we connect all these values in series, the total capacitance is now getting reduced to 0.055 microfarads, right? So hence it is proved that when we connect capacitors in series fashion, the total capacitance of the circuit will be decreased, right? Got the point? Right. So in exam, when you are asked to calculate the total capacitance, so just remember the formula, substitute the values with the given values, and you'll get an answer. And if the answer is such that what the answer is less than the individual individual capacitances that are given in the circuit, then you are correct with your answer, right? So this is all about capacitors in series connection, right? Next we will see capacitors connected in parallel. So parallel connection or shunt connection. So parallel connection is also called as shunt connection. We say any components that are connected in parallel or shunt, if all the terminals are connected to one point and the other terminals are connected to other point, then we call that kind of connection as parallel connection. That is, the capacitors are connected together in parallel when both of its terminals are connected to each terminal of another capacitor. So then we call such a connection as parallel connection, right? So as you can see in the diagram, I have taken three capacitors, same capacitors with the same values. All the sides, one side of the capacitors are connected to one point. The other side of the capacitor plates are connected to the other to one point, right? So this kind of connection we call it as parallel connection. Okay, so in the previous circuit, there is only one path for the flow of current, but here we can see three different paths for the flow of current. So we can see three different currents flowing in the circuit, right? So then what we can say is that the voltage we see across all the capacitors that are connected in parallel is the same. So here I am applying 12 volts to the terminals A and B. So the voltage VC that is connected across the capacitor is the same in all the capacitors, right? So for series connection, we see the current is same in all the capacitors, whereas for parallel connection, we observe voltage to be the same in all the capacitors. So the capacitors in parallel have a common supply voltage across them, and giving it as Vc1 is equal to Vc2 is equal to Vc3 is equal to the supply voltage, that is VAB, that will be equal to 12 volts. That is what written here. So all the voltages across the capacitor will be equal to the supply voltage. So when the capacitors are connected together in parallel, the total or equivalent capacitance CT in the circuit is equal to the sum of all the individual capacitors that are added together. This is because the top plate of the capacitor C1 is connected to the top plate of capacitor C2, which is connected to the top plate of the capacitor C3, and so on. The same applies to the capacitor bottom plates, that is all the bottom plates of the capacitor C1, C2, C3 are connected. Then it is the same as if there are three sets of plates were touching each other and equal to one large single plate, thereby increasing the effective plate area in meter square. Okay, so since we know that the capacitance C is related to area, right? C is equal to epsilon A by D. This is the capacitance expression what we know, right? So C is related to plate area. The capacitance value of the combination will also increase. Then the total capacitance value of the capacitor connected together in parallel is actually calculated by adding the plate area together. In other words, we say that the total capacitance is equal to sum of all the individual capacitances in parallel. Okay, so the total capacitance of parallel capacitors can be calculated in the same way as the total resistance of series resistor. So the currents that are flowing through each capacitor can be written as, so in series circuit, as the voltages are different, we have written an expression for voltage. Here currents are different, right? Voltages are same, so we'll write expressions for current. So to write an expression for current, we have to apply KCL, Kirchhoff's current law. So when I apply Kirchhoff's current law to the above circuit, what we can write is that I1 is equal to C1 into dV by dt. I2 is equal to C2 into dV by dt. I3 is equal to C3 into dV by dt. Okay, so this is how we write the currents that are flowing into the individual capacitors, right? So altogether the total current can be written as the sum of all the currents, that is IT will be equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Therefore, the total current is a combination of all these points what we have derived. So what we can write is that IT is equal to C1 dV by dt plus C2 dV by dt plus C3 dV by dt. So this can be written as IT is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 into dV by dt, or IT is equal to what we write, CT into dV by dt, right? So then we can define the total or equivalent circuit capacitance CT as being the sum of all the individual capacitance add together will give up an generalized expression as Ct is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So in this expression, if we cancel out the dV by dt terms, Ct dV by dt is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 into dV by dt. So I am cancelling dV by dt here and dV by dt here, and we will be left out with Ct is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3, right? So the capacitance expression or the total equivalent capacitance when capacitors connected in parallel are Ct is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 up to n number of connections we can do. So when adding capacitors in parallel, they must all be converted into same capacitor units. This point we have to keep it in mind, whether it is microfarads, nanofarads or picofarads, all should be converted into same units. We can also see that the current flowing through the total capacitance value Ct is same as that of the total circuit current It. So and now we can also define the total capacitance of the parallel circuit from the total stored Coulomb charge using Q is equal to Cv expression for the charge on the capacitor plates. The total charge Qt stored on the plates equal to the sum of the individual stored charges on each of the capacitor, and therefore we can write it as, so based on Q is equal to Cv expression, we can write it as Qt is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 as, and we know that Q is equal to Cv. So what we do is Qt is equal to C into Vt. So substitute this here, and Q1 is equal to C into V1, Q2 is equal to C into V2, Q3 is equal to C into V3. So when I substitute all the terms here in this expression, we get this expression, that is Cvt is equal to Cv1 plus Cv2 plus Cv3, right? Or we can write it as Ct is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So as the voltage V is common for all the parallel connected capacitors, we can divide both the sides of the above expression by voltage and just leaving the capacitance, and by simply adding together the value of the individual capacitance will give us the total capacitance. Okay, so from this expression is not dependent on the number of capacitors in parallel in a branch and can therefore be generalized for any number of n number of parallel capacitors can be connected. So it is not only for only 1, 2 or 3 or so. So n number of capacitors can be connected in parallel. That is why this is a generalized expression. So that's what we can use it for any number of capacitors connected in parallel. So the overall expression for total capacitance when connected in parallel fashion is the total capacitance Ct is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 up to n number of connections. So how many capacitors, the number of capacitors, all will be added up together, thereby increasing the overall capacitance of the circuit. So when we connect capacitors in parallel, the total capacitance will increase. This is contrast to resistors connected in parallel. So when we connect resistors in parallel, the resistance, the overall resistance will decrease, right? But when we connect capacitors in parallel, the overall capacitance will increase. This is because as the voltage is common, same, but the current is varying, right? So when we observe all the circuit conditions, calculations, we can conclude that when we connect capacitors in parallel, the total capacitance will increase. Whereas when we connect capacitors in series, the overall or the total or equivalent capacitance will decrease. So that I have proved you by taking an example. Now also we'll try to solve an example in order to justify this expression. Okay. So let's see an example here. So I have given you a circuit, the same circuit. Here we have three different capacitors with three different values. So C1 is equal to 0.1 microfarad, C2 is equal to 0.2 microfarad, C3 is equal to 0.3 microfarads. All are connected in parallel fashion and connected to a supply, right? So according to the expression of total capacitance of the circuit, we can write it as total capacitance CT is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3, right? So if we add all these capacitances, we can draw this circuit as like this. So the total capacitance C3 is nothing but 0.1 microfarads plus 0.2 microfarads plus 0.3 microfarads will give us 0.6 microfarads. So as we can observe that the value of the total capacitance has now increased when compared with the individual capacitances, which are 0.1, 2 and 3 only. But when we observe the overall capacitance or the equivalent capacitance, it has increased to 0.6 microfarads, right? So depending upon the application or the type of connection can be decided. Like if you want to increase the capacitance of the circuit, you have to connect capacitors in parallel, or if you want to decrease the capacitance of the circuit, you can decrease the capacitance by connecting the capacitors in series. So why we talk about these points is, for example, a basic example, if I have three different capacitors like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 microfarads are there, but I want a capacitor or the capacitance for the circuit what I am designing should be much lesser or should be lower than these three values, like it should be less than 0.1 microfarads. Then what can I do? I don't have a capacitor available with value which is lesser than 0.1 microfarads. So what I can do is that with the help of these three capacitors, I'll connect all these three in series fashion. So when we connect all these three in series fashion, the overall capacitance or the equivalent capacitance will decrease. That is what we have seen in this example. So though the individual capacitances are 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, but when we see the overall capacitance, it has reduced to 0.05 microfarads. So when it is needed to reduce the value, we connect the capacitors in series, or this connection is also advantageous when we don't find a capacitor with the appropriate values. Then we can adjust the values just by the way we connect the capacitors. Likewise, if you have some capacitors and that capacitance value is not sufficient for the particular circuit what we are designing, then what we do is that we just want to have a higher value of capacitance. We simply take the capacitors that are available with us and connect all them in parallel, so that the overall capacitance value will now get increased, which we have seen in the case of parallel plate. We have seen in the case of parallel connection capacitor. right? So the knowledge regarding the connections of capacitors will help us operate or connect the capacitors properly, and also it makes us utilize the available capacitors effectively, right? So without any extra or additional capacitances or capacitors, with the available capacitors itself we can design or we can um, utilize the capacitance value there itself with the available capacitors, right? So in the exam you might be asked to solve small problems based upon these two formulas. So when you remember these two expressions, you can easily solve problems on capacitor connections. Or otherwise you may be asked to derive uh, the expression of series capacitors and parallel capacitors. So what you do is that you draw a circuit and explain how current and voltage values vary, and what is the charge, voltage and capacitance expression that we know, and from that expression we can derive the total or equivalent capacitance in series as well as parallel, right? So this is all about the total concept of capacitors connected in series and parallel. So with this I hope that you got to know how to derive the total or equivalent capacitances for series and parallel circuits, right? So with this we have covered all the points regarding capacitors, and we'll try to discuss inductors in the next coming videos. Okay, so I guess I wish that I'm clear with the points that I have discussed till now regarding capacitors. So let's continue inductors in the next video. Thank you.